Thank you. I'm very proud to be here on behalf of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and to induct Hank, who I first run across at an age, I suppose I was 12 or 13, and some of us used to get together between classes and bring our obscure records in to play for each other and turn each other on to new stuff. And one of the little girls brought in Hank Ballard's Work With Me, Annie record, and she played it for me once, and she had a little smile on her face, and she asked me if I got it. I said, well, yeah, I think I got it. That's very nice. She played it for me again, and she had a bigger smile, and she was almost winking when she said it. She said, did you get it this time? And I knew something was happening, but I didn't know what it was. Eventually, I got it. Hank Ballard was born in Detroit and grew up in rural Alabama with relatives who were, to quote him, heavy into religion. They used to beat him if he sung the blues. So he wanted to get out of there fast. So the first out was the back window, and he visited the local blues clubs and picked up a lot of what he has carried to us ever since. One night he ran away for good. He was 14 years old. He went to Detroit, got a job on the assembly line, and hung around some of the writers with the groups around King Records at that time. He got a job with a band which eventually became Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. They'd had a few hits, nothing really clicked until Hank's first song, which was called Get It, and it was a very sexually explicit song. It paved the way for things that Hank was to do later. The next thing he did, the first song he went to the studio and wrote was a song called Sock It To Me Mary. He was told by the producer, Ralph Bass, at that time that it was a bit heavy, was the word, and that he would have to change it around a little bit. Well, Hank was rewriting in the studio, and a woman, the wife of the engineer, came in. Her name was Annie. And Annie was about out to here, 4 or 5 months pregnant, and Hank struck up a thing with Annie and ended up writing the song right there, and it was called Annie, Work With Me, Annie. Now, when Work With Me, Annie came out in 1954, it stirred up a lot of controversy, and it was renounced by Downbeat magazine, Variety magazine, as smut. King Records almost recalled it, and radio didn't want anything to do with it. They were scared to death of Hank's record. In April, it hit the R&B charts, and in May, it was #1. Within 3 months, it was joined by 2 other songs, Sexy Ways and Annie Had a Baby, to occupy 3 of the top 10 spots in the top 40, all without radio play. They went on to become a major touring attraction, and Hank's made a lot of history since then. One day, someone flipped over a hit single and played the B-side, and it was The Twist. Dick Clark heard it, had a then unknown Chubby Checker record it, note for note, and the rest is history. It was probably one of the biggest single songs in all of its lives that ever came out. Hank went on from that. He never got the credit for performing it. He was always given credit for writing it, and he went on from that time to do Finger Poppin' Time and Let's Go, Let's Go, Let's Go, and a bunch of dance stuff, and he has sort of been the man with the dance, with the vitality and the rhythm since those days. To talk to Hank is to meet a very vital, very positive, very dynamic man. To hear Hank tell about it, he says it's all about having a good time and feeling good and looking fine and having some laughs and getting others to do the same. It's my pleasure to welcome to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the one and only Hank Ballard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My biggest pleasure here tonight is being here tonight with guys that I grew up with. the Four Tops, and to see for the first time a lady I've been trying to meet for the last 20 years, Bonnie Raitt and Phoebe Snow. If some of you out there know, you should know, some of you know, my manager and my wife was killed here October the 17th, was struck down by a hit-and-run driver. When she met me 4 years ago, she swore to God that she was going to take me back to the stars where I used to be. And it's really tragic that she's not here tonight with me. But I love you. Today, tomorrow, I love you even more. This is the night that I know the late Sid Nathan, president of King Records. This is your night too, Sid. Teresa McNeil, my wife, this is your night. Judy Tent, this is your night, one of my attorneys. I miss you.